Yesterday in the last video we have discussed the concept called constant and the types of constant. So what is constant? Constant is a quantity which does not change during the execution of a program. Okay, the value will not be changed during the execution of the program. And the types of constants are numeric constant and a non-numeric constant. Again, numeric constants are integer and a floating point constants, and non-numeric are character and a string type of constant. Okay, so these are the types of the constant. Now there is another concept called symbolic constant. So symbolic constant is a name that substitute a numeric constant, character constant or a string constant. Okay, constant means there is a fixed value. Okay, that value we can replace by any other number, any other value, that is it may be numeric, it may be a character, or it may be a string constant also, right. So example, area is equal to 3.142 into radius into radius. So here in this formula the numeric constant 3.142 can be replaced by symbolic constant called pi. So pi is the pi is the value of pi is 3.142. Instead of giving 3.142, here we can replace that value 3.142 by pi. Okay, and during compile time each occurrence of pi is replaced by its value defined. So before replacing 3.142 by pi, first the value of 3.142 must be defined. So where we are defining? In the preprocessor statement or in the header file of the program. So symbolic constants are defined using preprocessor statement using hash define. So using hash define you can define the value that is numeric value, character value, or any string constant, right. So example is hash define pi, that is pi, I have written in a capital letter space 3.142. It means hash define is a fixed preprocessor statement. Pi means what you are replacing. Okay, so what you are replacing? 3.142. So 3.142 is replaced by pi. Okay, pi space 3.142. So it is a numeric constant. So numeric symbolic constant 3.142 is replaced by pi, means wherever you are using 3.142, so instead of writing 3.142 directly we can write a pi, because already we have defined that value in the preprocessor statement. Okay, another example, hash define name in the double quotation Prabhu. Okay, means what you are replacing? The name Prabhu. Here Prabhu is a string constant. Okay, string means the sequence of characters. Whatever the string you are using, whatever the string you are replacing, that must be defined in the preprocessor statement. And what by what name you are replacing? Name. Okay, so here name is the symbolic constant. Okay, so symbolic constant means the name substitute any constant, that is any symbolic constant. It may be numeric, character, or a string constant. So before replacing that symbolic constant, first you have to define it in the preprocessor statement, that is a symbolic constant. Okay. Next is a very important concept, that is a variable. So variable means it is a quantity that changes during the execution of a program, is called a variable. So already we have discussed constant. Constant means the quantity does not change. Okay, that is a fixed value, that value does not change during the execution of a program, whereas variable is a quantity which changes during the execution of a program, is called a variable. So variables are the names given to identify the specific program elements. Okay, variables are the names to identify the elements of the program. Elements means the data of the program, means what type of data we are using in the program, whether it is a numeric value, whether it is a character value, whether it is floating, or whether it is a string type. What type of data we are using in the program, that is identified by the variable. Variable are also called identifiers, and the variable represent a particular memory location where the data can be stored. Okay. When we define a variable in the program, when we declare a variable in the program, memory location will be allocated to that variable. Okay. So, as we use any data, any type of data in our program, but the data cannot be directly used in the program. So, before that, that data must be defined. So, where we are defining in the form of a variable. Okay. If you are using integer, then integer type of data must be defined. If you are using float, char or a string, that type of data must be defined in the form of a variable. So, variable it provide a memory location, or you can say when a variable is declared, computer is allocated or the operating system is allocated some memory location where the data can be stored, so that we can access that data as and when we require. And here each variable in C has a specific type which determines the size and the layout of the variable memory, that range of the values that can be stored within that memory. Okay. Whatever the data you are declaring or manipulating, that will be stored in the variable, so that you can access as and when we require. Okay. So, it provide a memory location when the variables are declared in the program. Okay. So, what is variable? It is a quantity does changes during the execution, during the running of the program. Now, the declaration of variable, it is also very important concept, right? So, how to declare a variable? It is a syntax. Syntax means the format to declare a variable. Data type, variable list and a semicolon. Okay. So, what is data type? Data type, it is any basic data type such as int, float, char, etc. You can use any type of data type. Okay. The very first thing must be data type. Variable list, variable list means one or more variables of type data type. You can use one variable or you can use more than one variables also while declaring a variable, and the variable must be separated by commas. If you are using more than one variable, so each variable must be separated by commas. And the next is a semicolon. So, semicolon is nothing but the delimiter of this declaration. Okay. So, now you may ask what is delimiter? Delimiter are nothing but a separators. Okay. If you are using two variables, two statements, okay, so that we have to separate by giving semicolon or comma or apostrophe or whatever the semicolon whatever the delimiter you are using. So, delimiters are nothing but the separators. They separate constants, they separate variables and statements. Okay. And some delimiters are comma, semicolon, apostrophe, that is single quote, double quotes and blank spaces. These are the delimiters. Okay. These are the delimiters. Now, the example here you can see int. Int is a data type, variable list, length is a variable list and a semicolon is a delimiter. Okay. So, here length is a integer type of data. Float, data type, area is a variable list and a semicolon. Char is a character type of data, ch is a variable and a semicolon. So, here different type of different type of data I have declared here. Length is an integer type of data. When this variable is declared, that is a length variable is declared, so here memory is allocated for that variable. So, integer means it provides 2 bytes of memory, means length can be stored in only 2 bytes of memory, whereas area is a floating type of data. Okay. So, floating point of data provides 4 bytes of memory. Similarly, ch is a character type of data which provides only 1